Should we talk about Fernando's journey to 4K before we go, or should we save that for next week?
Up to you, brother. I got some new ultra high def Blu-rays I need to crack open.
So we'll open with Fernando's journey to 4K next week. Fernando, I apologize for not including you in this week, but
ooh, I'm liking this question too.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good story. Fernando's journey to 4K. Fernando writes, let me start by saying I am thrilled that I did the upgrade. Who was not so thrilled was the missus. She loved our Panasonic 60-inch VT60. It was our third Panasonic plasma. I previously had a 42 and 50-inch. I sold it on Craigslist and got more than I expected for it, confirming to my wife that she was right, LOL. But what prompted me to upgrade? It was Apple. When they announced that my collection will be upgraded to 4K, that was enough for me, but my upgrade did not occur then. It took a lot of prodding to convince my wife, not to mention the prices were still high. She finally broke down and let me buy one last month, and I am now a proud owner of an LG C7P 65-inch OLED. I got a great deal and took the day off, of course, to set it up. All was not peaches and cream, however, but the AVX forum came to the rescue without professional calibration. With a little tweaking of my own, it looks great. The biggest letdown, of course, is cable TV, FiOS. Not that it is horrible, and the LG does a pretty good job at upscaling, just that I could tell the 1080p plasma looked better. Live TV looks the best. My biggest issue with going 4K is the HDR war, not to mention the opening of the floodgates to want to upgrade everything, which I mostly did, of course. I got the Apple TV 4K as well as an LG UP970 UHD player that I got a great deal on. The 970 recently got the Dolby Vision update, so everything supports Dolby Vision but my Yamaha AVR. I own the RX-A1050, and it is not getting the firmware update because they claim the hardware is not supported. It actually does, and there's an online petition that unfortunately does not have enough signatures. I even wrote Yamaha to no avail. So my question is it worth replacing my 2-year-old AVR just to get Dolby Vision? I personally prefer to have all my devices routed through the AVR, despite the LG having enough inputs. Am I really missing out on a lot HDR-wise? What say you? Thanks again for your attention to this email, and oh yeah, I love the podcast and still miss HD Nation. Enviado de mi iPhono, which means sent from my iPhone, Fernando in the Bronx, New York.
I was looking at that going, what does that mean? And I'm like,
sent from my iPhone.
iPhono. iFruta.
iPhono.
That's awesome. And man, I'm telling you, those VT60s or that last generation of Panasonic's plasma tech, everyone I know who still has one still cherishes it, and it's still a great TV. And yes, the issue with AVRs right now, if you have one that's a couple years old, is it probably won't receive a Dolby Vision update, except for maybe a couple of select models.
So you're not going to be able to pass through Dolby Vision on that?
Apparently not. And looking at the latest and greatest, or even stuff starting last year in 2017, all the major players seem to be incorporating Dolby Vision support. Denon, Marantz, Onkyo, Pioneer, Integra, Sony, Yamaha. Mm-hmm. So Fernando did the right thing. He checked for a firmware update that would add that DV support. It's clearly not going to be there. Before upgrading to something that is Dolby Vision supporting, consider over-the-air broadcasts. And with ATSC 3 coming later this year, if I'm going to get Dolby Vision built into my AVR, I'd want to make sure there's an upgrade path for HLG.
Right.
On the chance that by the end of this year, we'll have some set-top boxes outputting that format that you could take advantage of for live TV or even DVRing that kind of content. Now, ideally, I would just suggest an HDMI switch that's, HDCP 2.2 and HDMI 2.0X or whatever it's going to be with audio extraction built in. But I am seeing none that actually feature uncompressed audio output via HDMI. Usually it's just optical, coaxial, and analog output. And if DTS HD Master Audio, your Dolby True HD, and Atmos, the hardcore lossless formats aren't critical to your listening experience, then that kind of a switch would allow you to at least plug everything into that, run an optical cable over to your AVR, and then still enjoy that content in full HDR quality while still taking advantage of your AVR in terms of it just taking the audio and distributing that how you need it. Now, adding another piece to your setup, it could cause some control issues, and that's where I think something like a universal remote would make that very much more doable. But my question is, has anyone actually seen an HDMI switch that supports HDR and 4K and all that good stuff with audio extraction output via a separate HDMI output? much like a lot of the premium ultra high def Blu-ray players offer 2 HDMI ports on the back, output ports, one for the audio stream, separate to the AVR, and then one for the video stream in full quality to your wonderful display. So I haven't seen anything like that. I don't know if they exist. I kind of doubt it, but if one is out there, please shoot me an email, ask@avexcel.com, or on Twitter, or however. If you have an AVR from last year, the short answer is you can probably update it. It seems like all the new AVRs coming will have Dolby Vision support. My question is, where's HLG in that mix? Even though it's not critical now, but I figure if you don't want to be dealing with this question again at the end of the year, or it's also going to depend too in terms of the broadcasters and what they do with that HLG signal. If you already have a set-top box from your cable or satellite provider or whoever, Fios, will they take an HLG 4K program and convert that into some other more widely supported format like HDR10? I don't know. We'll see. I can't wait, actually. I can't wait to experience all of this, including over the air.
Yeah,
so,
no, and the whole...
For me, Dolby Vision's more important than HLG, but it's simply because of the content that's available right now.
Well, it would suck to buy a new AVR and then in 12 months be like, oh, I need a new AVR to support HLG.
I want to watch baseball in 4K with HDR. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Damn.
Oh, my
So anyway, that's a basic question, but yeah. Fernando, you're doing everything right.
Yeah, and I would, you know what, I route everything through the LG for now, or what you need to route through the LG for now.
It's tough to give up good audio. Man, I love AVRs for being the ultimate switch in terms of your audio and video support.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, you can look at what things actually support Dolby Vision and run those through the TV. And then you guys
crawl behind there, change your cables out, or just leave a couple extra cables plugged in and. You'll figure it out.
No.
It's terrible.
Oh, my goodness. Got a subwoofer question, and this one's kind of fun.